You mentioned investors and the imperative to raise investment capital. I was just writing an article for my readers at twogreenenergy.com on that subject, the subject of how does a management team stay in sync with investors and their motivations and their antsiness for a liquidity event, an IPO, where you sound like that you're in it for the long term. You don't sound antsy
Right.
to go play the next game, where investors may be. Where are you at, so to speak, with potential investors, and do you see that being a potential issue?
Well, we have about 100 investors in the company right now. The four principals have invested heavily. We have quite a bit of skin in the game, as they like to say, ourselves. The whole economic conditions that we got caught up in, we actually had a fund set up to fund us a year ago for $12 million worth of investment capital to launch the company with, at the exact time that the market started tumbling. And that ran for about 5 months, where they kept saying, give us 30 days, give us 30 days, we'll have your money to you. And then they just evaporated and disappeared. So having been in this, and like I said, having been in the startup environment, I know it's what you don't know that winds up killing you in the process of it. And there's always barriers that come up. But I think it's really a tribute to the type of team we have put together. In January, we just turned around and said we can market this ourselves and actually start selling some equipment and generate revenue off this. And what we've done, as I said, we have 2 very large dealership networks that are now on board with us. We have our sales lines in place. And just recently, we have a large investment firm that's actually very interested in funding us, and that's moving forward at this point. As far as the long haul, the investors get in for any reason they want.
Yes, sir.
And there's a number of people that have invested that are looking for an IPO, and probably 2 or 3 years down the road will cash out, and they will do extremely well with the money that they put in. There are other people that are in it for the long haul, as the principals in the company are. We're very much a purpose-driven organization. There's nobody in here that's saying, let's launch this thing, and a year from now sell it to, Freightliner or General Motors or somebody, and we'll get out of it and we'll go sit on the beach and drink pina coladas. That's not what we're interested in doing. We're interested in actually making a significant impact on the environment, so that we have a long, sustained life on this planet. Is really what we're interested in doing. We have a number of other products, we have a number of other businesses that we want to bring out after this, and that to me is the game that attracted me to that. I've personally been involved in a number of different, we'll say, like I said, businesses where there was this the internet was a quick burst. We were going to get in and be sold, okay? And on that, and that's really not what I'm interested in doing. And then none of the other people are as well. I hope that answers the question.
It does nicely. It's funny that you mentioned that thing about investors and bootstrapping the company with its own resources. When I give advice to startups, most of whom say, oh, we really have to have a couple $1 million before we can do anything, I normally go, tell me about that. Why do you think that is? What would happen if you instead of saying I need a couple $1 million in investment capital, why don't we get a couple $1 million in POs? Let's just go sell it.
Exactly.
So you seem like an aggressive, at least a direct, player in this business. You don't need to be sitting around spending months waiting for something to happen.
No, that's exactly what we did. In that startup, it's a chicken and egg situation where everybody is afraid to be the first one to jump in. Now, we have specific things we need capital for plant and equipment and building our machinery and our distribution lines that we have to put in place. But what we did is we went out and secured our accounts. And we said, okay, we now have accounts that are here. So any investor that looks at that goes, they've got their accounts. These are major players. It's wide open for them at this point, okay? And we have all of our manufacturing technology. We have 2 market-ready products ready to go. There are a number of investment companies or investment groups we've talked to that people come to them and they have this concept in their garage.
Yes.
And when we say, no, we have 2 market-ready proven, we can show them our products. Okay, we're ready to roll out with this right now. Okay. That being said, this has been a phenomenal market for raising money in. I mean, it has been, just with what's happened in the economy, it's been definitely a challenge from that standpoint. And what we've done is continued to move forward building the confidence with the different players that we have so that we can actually basically link this whole thing together. And it's right along the line, like you said, yeah, you can solve a lot of problems of throwing money at it, but it really the bottom line comes down to, does your product work, and is there an interest in it in the public?
Yep.